There are all kinds of campaigns that I've been asked to run, and I'm in a unique position that I've really gotten to genuinely evaluate success or failure of search, social, AOTT, display, and a lot of other paid campaigns, and what works and what doesn't. So, and I've been asked this a couple of times, and I've done videos before on like what I would run, what I wouldn't run, but I thought I'd kind of break down the campaigns that I've run and how I've run them for success. And I'm going to start with the one that everybody loves to hate, Performance Max. There is a ton of hate out there on Performance Max campaigns. They're garbage, they encourage bot traffic, they're just getting Google paid, whatever. And I agree with you with the caveat that if you don't tell Google how you would like your money to be spent and exactly and precisely what you want the campaign to do, 100% it's going to work like garbage. It's going to encourage bot traffic. It's going to get Google paid. And that's not Google's fault. That's our fault for not telling the campaign what we wanted it to do. So, all the people out there that are trashing Performance Max campaigns, in my opinion, have not had a vendor that's run Performance Max the right way. So if that's you, if you're out there trash talking Performance Max, I challenge you to put some more effort into giving that campaign the guardrails it needs to have in order to be successful for your store. For example, I am running a conquest campaign for trucks at a Chevy dealership. The Chevy dealership wants to conquest the Ram 1500s, the Ford F-150s, the Toyota Tundras in their area with the Silverado 1500. So we are doing that via a PMAX campaign. We've kept the geography pretty limited. We're not going out as far as the rest of the campaigns. So it actually is within a 15-mile radius of the store. My budget for the campaign is about $2,000 that we're starting with. I have hella search themes and signals on this campaign because I am targeting a specific type of buyer. I want people who are intenders for those trucks, not the Silverado 1500, but for those other trucks that I mentioned. I want to target them with specific ads. Now, what are my ads that I have in there? So not only do I have built into the campaign all my search themes and signals, but I also have assets to support that. So I constantly have, and this is something that not a lot of people recommend for PMAX, but I find works extremely well, is I have offers on those Silverado 1500s specifically targeted to capture that F-150 Tundra Ram 1500 buyer. I have a video that talks about what the Silverado 1500 has. It doesn't mention the other vehicles. It just says this is what the Silverado 1500, here are the specs on it basically. It doesn't run like a full scope, reading verbatim every single thing the Silverado 1500 has over the competition, but it does have certain details that would stand out to a Ford F-150 buyer, for say, let's just say. So things like GVWR, things like tow ratio or tow ability, that kind of stuff. So I really would challenge you when you're looking at Performance Max specifically to get more in the weeds on guiding the campaign to perform as you like it. Because, and blaming Google and saying that, oh, PMAX is trash, blaming Google because you haven't spent the time to actually take an active role in guiding the campaign to exactly how you wanted to spend and where you wanted to spend and on what you wanted to spend. I mean, that's kind of silly to me. So every time I hear that, oh, I've heard out there that Performance Max is trash. Yep. If you don't put guardrails on it and you don't give it search themes and signals, 100%. And that is not the fault of Google that it is trash like that. So that's the first part of search. Second part of search, vehicle ads. I know everybody loves to hate vehicle ads, especially because you can't run them without Performance Max now. But the same rules apply of putting search themes and signals on those campaigns. You can do that. So I would strongly encourage people, and too many people take like the easy route. If you're doing the campaigns internally, if you're using a vendor to do them, ask to see the setup, the search themes and signals on your VA campaigns. They should have targeted intenders for whatever that audience is on your VAs. Then to brand and regional campaigns. You don't need a whole lot of money to fund a brand and regional campaign. Honestly, I'm more of the mindset that I don't even know that I would do a brand campaign. I would focus more on a new make campaign and then a regional campaign, because I'm not a proponent for buying the dealer's name. I'm just not. Now, if your name of your store is Chevy plus the city you're in, which most of them are, you're not going to have a problem with brand. And I recommend just eliminating that altogether. But you should definitely dive into the regional campaigns. You should definitely throw some money at that. Absolutely on a new make campaign. And for the domestic brands specifically, I think there's a big benefit to having model specific campaigns. So without PMAX, because you can get in some high funnel, mid funnel, low funnel search terms in some of those results by utilizing those types of campaigns. So instead of being 100% dependent on your VAs, you can lean more into hopefully pulling people into the consideration set portion of the marketing funnel instead of right at the bottom at the VDPs at the low end of the marketing funnel. So what do you add into those? You want to definitely add what your offers are that need to be changed monthly. So if you're not sending those over to your vendor as a dealership, I would highly recommend you send those over to your vendor consistently every month as soon as they're released. I would highly recommend also that any kind of why buy messaging that you include in there as well. Like I have a dealer that does courtesy deliveries and courtesy pickups of a trade-in. So they have that messaging, and I'm not going to give their tagline away because that'll give them away. They have that tagline in their campaigns, in their messaging. So I highly recommend utilizing that aspect of your make campaigns and your model campaigns to further push that message. Actually, it's something you can even put into PMAX in your videos and in your display assets as well. Beyond that, unless there's a special model that you struggle with that you need some more demand generation on, like for example, when the tax credits were going away for EVs, we did run some Performance Max campaigns specifically on EVs, and we targeted some non-OEM buyers of those EVs. So for example, I had some areas in the nation where Tesla was actually the #1 EV purchased in that particular market as far as EVs. And so I actually actively went after people who were searching for Teslas and pushed the narrative for this other OEM, pushed the narrative that they should be a part of the consideration set when someone was looking for a Tesla. So there are a lot of things that I don't see being done to Google campaigns, and then when they don't work right, we're calling the Google campaigns trash. I mean, to me, I just think that's lazy. If you're not going to take the time to make the extra effort to investigate why the campaign's not working right and utilize the tools that we have with Google to make it work right, don't call it trash. I mean, make a better effort. My PMAX campaigns, I am very meticulous about how I want them targeted and what I want those ads to serve up, how I want it to be served up, and to whom I want it to be served up. And so my Performance Max campaigns have very minimal bot traffic and have a lot of engagement and a lot of conversions. So that's the challenge I have for you this week. I'll talk about some of the other aspects of what I've experienced for different kinds of platforms in my next videos. That's all I got for this week. Happy selling.